3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
What an intro. Welcome back to the first podcast. Today we got a very special guest. That's all, folks. We got a very special guest, Dave Capdevielle.
So nice to be here on the Stroke podcast, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the only thing that's going to get stroked today. Thank you.
Oh.
We're talking about your ego as the guest.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Stroke podcast featuring our host, Porky Pig.
That's where you put in like 50 slide whistles at once, just over.
Yeah. TJ, make sure to edit that in if you're editing this episode.
TJ's going to edit every episode. What? He doesn't get a break.
Oh, this is going to be fun. All the edits.
So hey guys,
Dave.
No, hold on,
guy.
Let me do a little bit of housekeeping first before we get into the cool guy.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, if you're an eagle-eyed listener at home, over at discord.t1podcast.com, if you want to tune into these episodes live, or patreon.com/t1podcast if you want to help support the show, you may have noticed that an episode of the podcast with Dave Capdevielle was recorded about 2 years ago. And it never seemed to materialize. And there are reasons for that that involve me dropping my hard drive on the floor very hard at a certain velocity to the point where it no longer works. So it is lost to the ether. So this is round 2. I went out for milk and I disappeared for 2 years and I am back. And with me are, am I pronouncing this right? Spaghetto and Tiege?
Sputnik?
What's Tiege? I think
it seems that Lars has become illiterate between this episode and the last, but yeah, it's Spaghetto and Tiege. Nice to re-meet you, Dave Capdevielle.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you say his name properly once, by the way?
Oh no, he's going to keep doing this bit.
Oh, okay.
What
Dave Capdevielle. Dave Capdevielle is the name of the guest. If people actually want to look him up.
I was here, we were talking about how birds weren't real.
Birds are not real.
Wait, they're not real.
Oh yeah,
no, they're not real.
I agree. This has not changed since our last discussion.
They're still fake.
It seems like
they're still robots.
Are we just redoing the previous recording that I wasn't even there for?
Let's just word for word redo the last episode. Change nothing.
Yeah, or just TJ put the entire last episode in post. It should be fine. We can
the episode that we have no access to.
Yeah. Okay, here's the entirety of the last episode right now, and then we'll get back to you when you're done.
Wow, that was a really good episode. Dave is such a character. He's such a funny guy.
Wow, what a wacky podcast this is.
What a wacky, zacky podcast. Zooey mama.
All right, I got topics if you guys want to start, by the way.
Sure.
Oh, I have a bone to pick with Dave Capdevielle.
Oh, no.
Dave,
I heard... Which bone?
You know which bone.
Which bone? Oh, sucks.
So... I heard that you have a very strong hate for the Blue Yeti. Am I correct?
Yeah. Didn't you used to have one, right? Which is fine. Let me be clear. When you're on a budget, I get it. But if you have the sources to have something better, then die.
Well, this is the first episode on his new mic.
He sounds good. He sounds good.
I was about to say, yeah, I spent the last week setting up my entire new PC and the microphone and everything.
Yeah.
And I was
Just for Dave.
I was really happy because I wanted to get the new microphone set up just so I could be like, hey, Dave, I'm not on a Blue Yeti anymore, so you could be proud of me.
You know what? I'm proud of you. I really am. I feel like that dad who, you finally brought an A on your report card.
Wow, Tristan, great move.
Unfortunately,
Proud of you.
Unfortunately, Tristan, we're still going to bully you during the podcast.
Well, I was going to, before you bully me, do you guys mind if I talk a little bit about the new setup? I'm really excited about it.
Yeah,
Sure.
but first, before we do that, real quick, just to give the audience a little bit of a dick tickle. Dave, can you give us like the elevator pitch 15-second summary of who you are, just to remind people?
Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. Who am I?
Who is he?
I had like a
who
quick
are you?
introspective thing right there. I am Dave. I do a lot of things on the internet, and I don't know. Most people probably know me as the co-creator of the indie animated show Farfetched with Ashley Nichols. I also was the head writer of the Has Been Hotel pilot. I also do a bunch of horror and VHS content, music stuff, basically kind of whatever I want. And I'm not dead yet.
Oh, good. Glad to hear.
I always feel, dude. I feel
Sure about that?
inside maybe, but like.
Okay.
I always feel so weird when it comes to self promotion. I never know what to say.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
Dave showed up for the recording today, I was just like, damn it, he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Our plan to take him out hasn't come to fruition yet.
Now, is
Maybe next episode.
is Farfetched ever
this
going
is
to
all
evolve
elaborate
into
setup.
Surfetched?
Wait,
Anyway.
is Farfetched actually just near fetched?
What?
I think it was it was like near tossed or something, like was the opposite. I did this one edit that our animation director Areg did where I just took in the logo the word far and I put the main characters just microscopic in the background of an image, so it just said far and you had to look at them. But yeah, I don't know. If you don't know what Farfetched is, then you probably have, a better life, but that's okay.
That's okay. By the way,
And
Spaghetto,
if you want to improve your life, go check out his content because Dave,
Aw.
cool guy, does a really good job on the stuff he makes.
Thank you.
Oh, sounds
Thank you.
great.
Thank you, son.
By the way,
You're welcome,
Spaghetto,
Dad. I
you
love
were
you.
talking about your Shure MV7 and how you wanted to kind of dick tease the audience a little bit.
Yeah, so now I can get in nice and close and not have the Blue Yeti just ruin the recording.
And it's really nice to be able to actually just have a good microphone. I got so fucking tired of the Blue Yetis. Just like, I love doing content, but if you're a loud content creator like me and Lars, the Blue Yeti is not the microphone for you. It's
No.
not. It is not. This microphone, I could just fucking scream, shout, ejaculate all at once, and it still handles it like a champ. It takes that load like a goddamn washing machine, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we just yesterday installed our new washing machine, and that was a bitch to set up.
Ooh, could you give me the dirty details,
Yeah,
Dave?
no, straight up. I don't want to sound like an old man complaining about appliances because I know that's what the kids want. But my God, there's like no instructions that come with how to like set this thing up, and they gave us like too many tubes that were supposed to be connected when there's only like 2 slots to connect.
Yeah.
It was just infuriating, and it got to the point where we're just like, well, fuck it, we'll just hook it up and see what happens.
Did it work? 'Cause, I mean,
Speaking of-
there's like hot water, cold water, and power, right?
Yep, but they gave us like 2 extra hoses.
Oh, okay.
So we're like,
Is
well,
that
which
for,
one
like,
goes
the-
where?
Is that like the
Well,
rich
that's-
person
that's-
house where it's like slightly cold and slightly warm or something? Or
I get this is not a rich person house. Like I said, our house looks like Swiss cheese right now. There's so many holes in the walls.
oh,
Ooh,
okay.
could you send
don't
us
like
some
the plot of
pictures of the
Farfetch.
holes
What?
on the walls?
Yeah, you know what? I can. Bro, I'll walk right to that one. Here, actually, I'll take a pic right above my desk. Here. So, like, because I'm the only one on like the bottom floor bedroom, and the rest of the gang, they're upstairs and their drywall's pretty much fixed up. But
Are there like holes in the ceiling where you can see like everybody on the level above you?
Yeah, you see like the person taking a shit above you, and you're just like, oh no,
Nice.
it's raining again.
Uh-oh.
And then if you don't
Oh wow,
don't
that's a
pay
big
attention,
ass hole.
Yep.
you're gonna fall right through the
Hey
hole.
Dave, I'm in
the
your walls.
floor.
I'm in your walls.
oh, if I just saw your head,
Ceiling cat? Is
Yeah.
that too old of a reference at this point? Okay.
Lars, stop dating yourself.
Spaghettos.
I would
is
love
gonna,
to date myself, dude. If I could date anyone, it would be me. All right.
Ooh.
Talk about
Let's get
stroking the
into
ego.
topics. Okay. So by the way, Tristan, you got a new setup with your computer as
Yes,
well.
yes. If I could get more into that, I will. Dave, I'm gonna make you so proud of me. I got this this thing. It's called like the GeForce 4080. I think. It's pretty cool. I'm very excited. And the first game I played on it with Lars was Sinister Squidward, and it was
Very
a
nice.
horrible experience. It was literally
Yeah.
like a SpongeBob snuff film.
Yeah, it was
And-
awful. It's the worst thing ever.
It
It's the
was
worst game ever. I've seen you play.
SpongeBob Snuff Pants.
It was dreadful. It was like
It
God,
was so
Dave, are you
bad.
familiar with like SpongeBob horror by any chance?
I do know the one game of it's like where you have to like go through the under basement of the Krusty Krab and Mr. Krabs is chasing you. I know that
3
one.
a.m. at the Krusty
Yeah,
Krab.
that one. I know that one.
I'm gonna make Lars play that with me next.
No, he downloaded this game called Sinister Squidward, and
Okay.
it starts with a
Wait,
horrific-
before you say how it starts, I like. I didn't realize how shit this game was, and I was trying to find a download link because it got a DMCA takedown from Nickelodeon. So I spent like 45 minutes like going through all these backdoor like really sketchy links to finally download it, just to be met with this horrible, horrible game that Lars is gonna
Yeah.
now tell you about.
Yeah, it's
Was it like
What?
a game on Game Jolt?
Itch.io.
I just like to
Okay.
imagine like
Because-
they're sitting around the Nickelodeon boardroom like this is not the message we want to provide.
no.
Like,
Well, it really wasn't. It started out with like the Krusty Krab equivalent of like a school shooting, and then goes from there. And the characters aren't actually in any danger though. It was really weird. Like
Well,
Patrick,
SpongeBob was.
yeah, Patrick is being disemboweled by like a chainsaw, but the problem is that he's not
Good lord.
like strapped down or anything though. Like he's voluntarily having it happen to him because he could just leave
he's
at
just
any time.
laying. He's just
Yeah.
laying on the table, letting a buzzsaw just cut his dick off, and he's just screaming. But all he would have to do is roll over because he's literally not chained to the table. And then
Yeah.
as soon as you turn it off, he's like, "Oh man, I got circumcised."
It was awful.
It should have
Awful
been called like
experience.
the Bikini Bottom Chainsaw Massacre or something.
Yeah,
That would have been better instead
that
of
would have
Squidward
implied,
pulling out
like, the slightest
the gun
creativity.
and shooting
Yeah.
up the
Instead
Krusty Krab.
instead of Leatherface, it's just like Patrick, but with it.
Ooh, SpongeBob, I know what we're gonna do today.
The saw is
Yeah.
family, SpongeBob.
By the way, Tristan was delayed.
I wiped out their entire family tree.
Okay. By the way, I noticed that Tristan, you were down for like almost a week. By the way, because you didn't have any of the RAM sticks for your computer.
Yeah, I was so pissed. The entire PC arrived. We spent like 8 hours building it, and then we realized that the RAM stick was missing from the Newegg box.
Mhm.
So I checked the
So-
order, and they shipped that separate. They shipped everything else together but the fucking RAM. So I just sat there with my $4,000 gaming PC just staring at me laughing for a
Mhm.
week.
So here's the thing, Tristan. You're saying that your new computer, it didn't have any memory. So I was
Just
gonna
like
say,
me.
yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you use the computer anyway? Because you guys are gonna have something in common. Da 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 da.
You're a little early.
You probably should give Dave
Yeah,
some context for that joke.
Okay.
you pressed the fart a little bit too early, man.
I know that was the joke. No, but
That really bad joke and
That was
poor
the
taste.
for context, Dave, Spaghetto had a bunch of concussions and now he has memory problems.
Oh my god, what did you do?
A few work injuries, and
Where do you work, if I can ask?
I can't tell you that.
Oh.
But
He works for the Men in
okay.
Black.
well, if I told him, it would literally dox me. But
Well,
It's-
no,
it's
I'm not saying tell me exactly what you work. Like,
No, like
what
a vague
line
industry.
of work are you in?
Yeah.
it's
He's a G-man. He's a government
it's kind
man.
of like you take care of buildings and like you clean restrooms and clean up the properties and stuff and get
Okay.
rid of garbage. But I had two concussions on the job, and it's kind of fucked up my memory, and now I have pretty bad short-term memory
Ooh.
or amnesia.
I'm sorry.
So-
I'm sorry, man. Genuinely.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, it's nice to reacquaint myself with you, because even though I remember enjoying our conversations in the previous recordings we did, but I don't remember like what we discussed.
It
at
is
all.
okay to forget who I am. Don't worry. I don't blame anybody for that.
Well, no, I remembered who you are, but all I remembered was, oh, this guy made me smile. That's it. That's all my brain
Aw.
allowed me to remember. So in a way, that's kind of sweet, because even though like I had fucking amnesia, the only thing that stayed was Dave made me smile.
see, that's
That's
what
nice.
any good father should do for their dementia-ridden son.
hmm
Dave, could you get me my walker? I don't remember where I put it.
What is it? What is this Benjamin Button where the son is old?
Yeah, Dave is like in his late 60s, and I have dementia at 23.
Yeah, oh God.
By the way, one of the dumbest thoughts I've ever had was like wondering once. I was thinking to myself, what if someone had like the reverse Benjamin Button disease, and then I realized that was just regular aging.
I didn't say it's just regular life.
Speaking of horrible things that has been happening to me, Lars and I recorded Vampire Survivors for like 9 hours. And
Oh, have you played this,
it
Dave?
took
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah,
No, it sounds fun though.
it's an incredible game.
It's not. It's so bad. It
no,
took
it's
me
not.
9
It's-
hours
it's
to
a
beat
10 out of
stage
10.
1,
Yeah,
and it's just
He
agony.
just sucks at the game.
And
Yeah.
in chat, Jakiki says he keeps getting to play the same level of Vampire Survivors with the same amount of dread as the last playthrough
Uh-huh.
because of my memory problems.
for
So-
context, Vampire
Yeah.
Survivors is the opposite of the Squidward game. It was my game of the year last year. It's like $4 on Steam. It's made by like this one dude. I think he has a team now, and it's this kind of twin stick shooter. It's like a bullet hell, except you are the bullets in the game, and it's really fun. It's like an arcade style game. It's got you play for like 30 minutes at once, and
It's like Castlevania.
yeah, it's got Castlevania aesthetics with it, and
Yeah,
basically,
it's essentially a Castlevania bullet hell.
yeah. And Treston, for some reason, he has a YouTube gaming channel, but he's apparently not very good at video games for some reason. So it took him about 8
No, hold
hours to
on.
beat level 1.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on.
It's not a bad game.
Hold on,
it's,
hold on.
it's just
I
Treston's
just
like
linked. I just
suck-
linked the playthrough.
what?
Mhm.
See those 12 videos in that playthrough?
Yeah, it took him 12 videos
Yeah.
to beat level 1, which
Those 12 videos are me beating stage 1.
yeah. And for context, the game is on average on how long to beat takes about 10.5 hours to beat the entire thing. Treston has wasted 8 of them on level 1. So
No.
he's
8.5. So that means
Oh.
I have
okay. Not just 8, but 8.5.
like an hour and a half left, and then I beat the game, right?
Hopefully, yeah, I would hope so. But yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, Vampire Survivors, great game.
Yeah, he's like
Check it out.
he's like he's like the kind of guy that's like, I suck at this game, so this game is
Yeah.
bad.
No,
He
I
really
didn't. I
is.
didn't say that. I just said I was like, I felt like I was being psychologically tortured because in one recording, I said I wasn't gonna stop playing this game until I beat it, and I played it for 7 hours straight,
Yeah,
and I felt like I like literally descended into insanity.
You know,
Yeah,
I
it was
will
really-
say.
Yep.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was
No,
gonna
you
say
go
like I relate like if there's like a boss battle or something in a game I love that like it takes me an hour to beat, I will have that temporary like, man, this thing fucking sucks, even though I know it doesn't. Like I was playing because I absolutely love the Resident Evil 4 remake, and I could not beat the Krauser fight, and I got to a point.
Wait. No spoilers though. Okay, thank you.
Are you gonna play through that game?
Yeah,
on the
I've
train?
never played Resident Evil. No spoilers, please.
I mean,
Tristan, I
it
think
happened
it's
in the
safe
it
to say
happened in the
boss-
original.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say the bosses are going to come back, but like,
No. Like I've never played Resident Evil. Don't spoil it, please.
Ooh.
Yeah.
do you know?
He hasn't
Do you even
played
know
the
who
original.
Krauser is?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Okay,
it's not a spoiler. It's just the name of the boss.
All I'll say is that just one of the boss fights was incredibly difficult to a point where I was like, this isn't even fun anymore. And then I finally beat it, and I was like, okay, it's fun again.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That was me with Elden Ring. I was trying to beat the fucking giant frost giant, and it was a fucking asshole. And I spent several hours on it because my dumb brain was just like, you can only do strength build. You will take this giant sword and shove it up every boss's ass. But the frost giant was terrible. I struggled more with the frost giant than I did with Melania, and that's saying something because apparently Melania is like the worst boss in the game, but the frost giant is the one that fucked me up. Like it was so bad. But after I beat the boss, I was like, oh, this is a great game.
Yeah, it's just those moments every once in a while where you just get like, you're so both like focused on beating it, but then you also get like frustrated and burnt out.
And then you do worse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me with Five Nights at Freddy's. I know, like, it's not your favorite game, but
I know it's not that. I was mainly just picking on you. Like when I joined in the server, the first thing is like, I was like, I played Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm like, I'm really, yeah.
I actually wanted to talk to you about it, and that was just me enjoying it.
No.
The reason why I was playing it when you joined in the servers, I'm building up hype because the movie's coming out October 27th.
Wait, hold on. No. Let's give some context here, Spaghetto, because you weren't playing the game so much as you were running a mod that lets you beat it without any confrontation.
No.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Didn't you notice how he kept winning automatically without any confrontations
I just
at
thought
all?
he was good. You know what? Never mind. I was going to say, you're good at the game. Like,
yeah, no, he's
No,
terrible.
hold on. I was skipping the easy levels so I could go play the hardest level.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to play 420 mode because I haven't played 420 mode in several years. I wanted to see how bad it was, and I survived like 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's more like actual Treston game.
But anyways, back on track. Mm-hmm. I was enjoying getting into it because the teaser trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's came out yesterday.
Yeah,
and I was very excited, especially seeing the animatronics. They look beautiful. Like the Jim Henson Creature Shop did fucking fantastic.
That's what I'm
work
excited about for that movie. That and Matthew Lillard, who I
and I hate to say it, but like even though Josh Hutcherson, like people are just kind of like towards him, I think he's gonna be a great fit.
Yeah,
he's the guy who plays PETA?
No, he's
PETA.
A horse is here.
PETA, Freddy's here.
Hey Lois, remember that time we went to Freddy
let's rein the cancer in a little bit. But Dave, I'm really glad that I could share my excitement for just the animatronics with somebody that is a huge fan of Jim Henson's work.
I'm a huge Jim Henson Creature Shop fan. I want to really visit the location there someday, but like, you guys are familiar because you guys have had him on the show before, but defunct. No, yeah, Back from the Grave. No, you guys have had Kevin from Defunctland on the show before, right? My favorite thing he's ever done is that 6-part Jim Henson series he's done. That's one of my favorite things just on YouTube. Like, yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
Oh no, his like Defunct TV. He does a 6-part thing on the entire history of Jim Henson's career, and it's one of the best documentaries I've just like ever seen.
But have you seen the 72-part Chris Chan documentary series?
I have a lot more things to live for.
This doesn't even deserve a captain's log because this is dead serious.
I imagine just like if you put Jim Henson and Chris Chan in the same room.
Wait, would Jim Henson think Chris Chan is like one of his like creations?
Hey, Mr. Henson,
this is the weirdest Fraggle I've ever made. Like,
I made it with.
Is this one of our new animatronics? Who brought this in here?
I saw a video the other day where
working on it.
Adam Savage from formerly of Mythbusters actually went to the Jim Henson shop, and that was really cool. But no, with the Five Nights at Freddy's thing, like it's actually really weird. Like it's not even that I have anything against it at all. I just genuinely have never sat down and played a Five Nights at Freddy's game, but it's like it's so ingrained in the zeitgeist that I feel like I know most about it. You know, that I almost don't even have to play it. You know,
I haven't played it either.
If you are the type of person that's not super into like games that will frustrate you, I just recommend watching a video, like a let's play of it.
Yeah. It does shock people because I'm known as like the horror Halloween VHS guy, like content wise. Like, you never played Five Nights at Freddy's? It's like all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, but like it's I respect Five Nights at Freddy's because of like, God, that's the weirdest thing I've ever said. But like I genuinely do respect Five Nights at Freddy's in that series for the fact that it was like kind of like the pioneer of that sort of like children's internet horror as like gateway, you know, for indie.
Yeah.
And I respect it for that. But God, just the amount of like rip-offs and everything that's happened since then.
Just to give some
speaking
disrespect,
of,
by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think it's the cheapest kind of horror, though, as well. It's just jump scares.
But
like,
I give it the excuse because it was the original one.
Fair enough. But
I agree with you, though. Like, now that there's like a million rip-offs and they all do the same thing, I absolutely agree with you. But I give Freddy the pass because it was the original to do it. It's like,
wait, Freddy gets the N-word pass confirmed?
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, nope.
TJ, bleep that in post. But
what makes you think I'm going to be editing this?
I'm sorry, TJ.
You kept saying like all the ripoffs. I did want to mention that some of them are really, really just genuinely fantastic horror games to the point where Scott Cawthon met up with like those creators of some of the fan games and signed a contract with them, allowing them to be considered like official games, and he's gonna like help them release them physically on consoles, so the developers of these fan games will actually start getting money and merchandise and even toys for just a fan game they made with an IP that they didn't even own.
Well, that's sweet.
Like, I thought that was really cool of him to do.
No, I just have I've been noticing though that like the genre in general, it still has its fair share of people that are making jump scare stuff, but that there's been kind of a stigma towards that as
stigma balls
relatively late, and I do like that people have moved away from that to some extent because that's not horror to me. That's just exploiting the fight or flight reflex in the brain. That's not scary.
You know what's interesting is that the whole analog horror movement recently has been like a real big thing, right?
Right.
And I have ones that I am deeply a fan of. I think the absolute gold standard is the series Local 58.
Oh yeah, I love
that is the gold standard. Also, Gemini Home Entertainment's very good.
Yes,
this is probably a hot take, because I know how obsessed people are with this series. I cannot take the Mandela effect seriously in any way, shape, or form.
Thank
it
you.
Is so
finally
funny to me. It's like if it's like a YouTube poopers analog horror series. Like
someone said it. I'm so glad. Thank you, Dave.
Like all the goofy faces and the voice acting. It's just like you know what? And I understand it's like a couple like 19-year-old kids making it, so more power to them, respect. But like
it's well made, but it's just so.
But when people
cheesy.
are like, it's the scariest thing, I'm like, the Sir Halo video was scarier than one of the episodes. Like,
oh.
If
Halo
you
next
see
week.
another person that looks like you, run away and hide.
By the way, Halo next week. If you want to tune into that,
you know what's funny?
Discord.podcast.com.
Halo and I have never ever met or interacted, but we're both in a video together. We're both in Gooseworks' one of Gooseworks' cartoons.
Nice.
Yeah, but we've never ever met. So,
well, you guys are almost going to meet as it is because next week's episode has Mr. David himself.
Maybe Dave could.
I love his
maybe
stuff.
Dave could.
I love it, especially his the spooky series he does.
You need to come on for a live question, Dave.
Maybe, yeah.
Here's
maybe not.
my question. Do you know me? That'd be the weirdest shit. Can you imagine?
You think you know me?
You just pop into a content creator's podcast. Hey, do you know me? Would you like to know me?
The most awkward shit like to do to anybody. But yeah. Also, what I was gonna say was because Lars, you kind of pointed this out, and I agree with you. Is that like the internet tends to kind of take anything that is good and then just ruin it.
Yep.
And I think there's no better example of that recently than the Backrooms. Because the original Backrooms short film, I think, is wonderful. And I cannot remember the last time the internet just ruined something so quickly.
Well, I just like the concept of like the whole liminal space thing in general.
Yeah.
I love those videos that Kane Pixels does.
Oh, which ones are those?
Because
I know that
those are the ones that kind of like blew up the idea of the Backrooms, where he was like this guy that filmed all of it. Like he did all these Blender effects, and then he ran it through an actual VHS player to make it look like actual VHS footage.
So,
and it's like really, it actually looks like real footage because of how low res it is.
I do remember that they
so
are. I think they contracted one of the Backrooms content creators to make a movie about it.
Yeah, that's Kane.
Yeah, I think James Wan's company is actually doing it with him.
That is really cool.
My thing is too, as somebody who like does.
Oh, guys, my doctor's calling. Do you mind if I just see what's up real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
TJ, you're gonna have to edit this doctor's phone call out of my audio.
Can you just mute yourself, please? Oh wait, that won't affect the local recording. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, as somebody who like does a lot of VHS stuff, like I clean up all the VHS tapes and do the streams and stuff. It's always bothered me. I don't know if it does for you too. Like, does it bother you when like it's so obviously just like a bad VHS filter on like
the red giant
or like
filter,
the one that bothers me the most, and maybe this is gonna be seen like a fucking boomer, but like whenever it's a VHS filter on 16:9 footage, and I'm like, do you not know this is supposed to be in 4:3, a square? That's how VHS tapes work. Like,
well,
yeah,
I'm not.
Well, the thing about
I get the frustration. I do, but I also kind of understand why people. It's not just about authenticity. I just think people really like the aesthetic, though. So it's not.
I mean, I adore the aesthetic. It's my thing, but like, I don't know. Like, I'll see like perfect example. Like there was like I saw like an SNL sketch once where it was like it was such a bad like just obvious VHS plug-in, with the whole thing was shot in HD 16:9. I'm like, what? Like, no, it needs to. Also, I just think that I don't know, like I just like things in 4:3. I just like nice square.
The Snyder
stuff.
cut. Yeah.
Like the Snyder.
Yeah, the thing about Kane Pixels' Backrooms videos is that while a lot of the footage is made in Blender and it's 3D rendered, he takes the renders and then he puts them through an actual VHS player to give
That's
it like
how you do it, yeah.
VHS look. And it because of the VHS artifacts, it kind of, because it's so low res, it kind of gives the illusion that it's real footage. Like if you make something low res enough, it kind of tricks your brain a bit. I mean, you can kind of tell, but it's like this looks like an actual physical space.
You know what's interesting?
Almost
is that, well, teacher probably knows a little bit about this, where AI image generation has gotten to the point now where it's trying to recreate the VHS aesthetic. Like we have a sticker on the server from that, where like the technology for that has been trying to make stuff that looks really fancy and everything, but we're just regenerating
Testing.
to the 80s aesthetic with it. What's up, Spaghetto?
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say that was the IRS, and they wanted money.
Oh, don't give it to them.
I told them, I said, I'm not giving you any more money. I literally did my taxes, and they said, let me see if you actually did them. And then they looked into their account, and they're like, oh, we're sorry. I guess you did. We made a mistake on our end.
Wait,
you don't owe us any money.
I don't think the IRS actually calls you. Do they?
Well, it was the people I filed my taxes with.
Oh, because I was gonna say they usually send a letter. They will never call you. That was probably a scam call.
It was H&R Block.
Oh, okay.
But they're like, yeah, we made a mistake. We should have checked that box. We're
The
sorry
real
about
horror,
that.
The IRS.
Why would H&R Block call to complain that you didn't do them? That doesn't make any sense. They're an intermediary.
They were saying that I needed to come back in and finish up my taxes because there was like some stuff that was incomplete, and they wanted me to pay the deductible and whatever and the shit that I needed to owe for taxes. And I'm like, no, I already did that. Why are you calling me? And they're like, let me check that for you. And they're like, oh, for some reason the person that filed your taxes, they didn't check that one last box for us to push it through. Sorry. Bye.
Ooh.
Weird.
Okay. Yeah, that's the real horror.
Yeah, the real horror is
taxes.
people calling you about taxes and saying, hey, there's been a mistake.
All right. Can we get like 10 seconds of liminal space, by the way, to kind of even things out and get back into the discussion?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Here we go.
I'm not joking.
Ready?
I did have
Here we go.
one last thing I wanted to bring up.
2, 1.
Oh, what? Okay. Bringing this back.
Okay, go ahead. Spaghetto.
Yeah, what's up?
You were gonna bring something up. I got a topic if you don't.
Oh, no, I have a topic. It coincides with something you said earlier. Sorry, I was just having to come down from being in monkey mode. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Now that I'm grounded, Lars, you did say that you thought Five Nights at Freddy's was like cheap horror and it was just jump scares.
It is.
But playing it is different to me just because the true aspect of the horror is being stationary and stuck in a location and having to conserve resources and strategize your survival.
Yeah.
And the dread of like the clock ticking down and your resources running out is what really is the scariest part to me.
Wait, Spaghetto, if that's your bag, by the way, have you ever considered playing Iron Lung?
Oh, Iron Lung is
I would love to. It's on my list now that I got my new setup. I wanted to play it with a webcam, so I now can do that with the new graphics card. I'm really excited to.
I will play that with you. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Will you watch the movie that Markiplier is making?
Of course I will. I'm a horror slut. You literally slap anything on the horror genre and I watch it.
You joke, but I actually will because Markiplier's directing it, but also it's like co-written by the guy who made the game. So
yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
He's starring in it too. Like he's
it's like I don't remember his name. The guy who did The Last of Us, writing for The Last of Us.
Hello, everybody. I'm in a submarine.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I'm at the bottom of the ocean. Maybe Freddy Fazbear won't reach me down here.
Or like Tommy Wiseau starring in The Room, and he's directing the movie too. It's like that.
Oh my god!
You guys see that one where he's like playing the Joker and he goes ah? He makes that noise.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, where he just busts a nut.
I'm the Joker.
But to answer your question, TJ, yes, I'll be watching it because literally I bought a movie that, and I will mention this again, is called The Easter Bunny Massacre: The Blood Trail, and I'm planning on watching it.
All right.
It was $5 at Walmart. Walmart has the best horror movies, and I had one to bring up to Dave Capdevielle that I took a picture of yesterday while I was at Walmart.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So
yeah,
I'm going to pull it up and send it in chat just so he can read it. So Lars, entertain the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, entertaining the audience. Okay,
I'll say.
Put the thing in the chat trust him.
I need like 10 more seconds.
All right, we'll talk for 10 seconds then. Okay.
Entertain the audience. Go.
I got a topic for you guys, and you guys can think about it. Okay. What is the most out-of-pocket text that you have ever gotten, like, from someone? Like, what's the most ridiculous message someone has ever sent you? Because I had one yesterday. Go ahead, though, if you got one.
Let me look through my messages.
You got one, Dave?
Does it have to be from somebody you know, or could it have been like a wrong number thing?
It could be from whoever. I think he's thinking.
I'm looking through my phone actually.
Oh, okay. Because I got one yesterday that said, "Let me die to your cum." That was a weird one to get. And
I think I know who sent that.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Forget about it.
Yeah. But you get TJ. You got one.
I'm still looking.
Okay. All right, Spaghetti, you can present your topic while they're searching if you'd like.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna tell you the weirdest text I got recently.
What do you got?
There was this mom that was upset that I wasn't home from soccer practice at the right time, so we went on like this like really long conversation, and I like was like, fine, I'm sorry after being disrespectful and stuff, and she's like, okay, don't let it happen again. And after like 10 messages, like a day later, she messages me again saying like I need to go pick up some groceries or something. And then I said they were out of the stuff you wanted, Mom. Sorry, I couldn't get them. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll see you when I get home. And then the next day, she's just like, hey, what time are you gonna be home? And I said, probably not today. I'm staying the night at Kyle's. And she's like, who's Kyle? And I told her she hadn't met him yet. And then later that day, she sent a message. She's like, this isn't my son's phone number. Who are you? I had been stringing her along
this poor woman.
This poor woman for several days.
Her son was bumping it up with Kyle.
And I probably got him in trouble too for like being disrespectful in the first conversation. And the best part was she thought it was funny at the end of it. She's like, that was a really good prank.
Lars,
and wished me a nice day.
I found this. It was from August 9th, 2020.
Nice.
And it was from a friend. It was from a friend I hadn't talked to in like a couple of years, and I just got a message, and I'll explain it. But he just said, your show got reviewed by Nostalgia Critic. I bet you're doing pretty well. That's when Doug Walker fucking did Has-Been Hotel on his dark cartoons or whatever, and I had no idea. But I just saw that. I'm like, what the fuck? What is like? Just I bet you're doing pretty well. I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
he measures success by the Nostalgia Critic. Well, Dave, are you ready for this image?
I'm ready, bud.
Here you go. I want you to read all the text on it.
I want to see if I've seen this before. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I am looking at a gorgeous DVD cover of Night of the Killer Bears. Ted meets Terrifier. That is the... Why don't they just say Tedifier?
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make sure they put two other brands on there that's recognizable.
Oh, man. Spaghetto, you need to go to... like a horror convention. You need to go. No, you need to go to a horror convention sometime because what they will have is just DVDs and VHSs of just this kind of shit all over the place for like 50 cents, and you'll find the most wacky, insane things you'll ever see.
Perfect, because I've been building a library of all the Sci-Fi Channel horror films that are like really bad. And one of them I watched recently was The Jersey Devil, and it was so bad. And for some reason, there was this crazy pastor that was just like holding the town hostage, and he's like the reason the people got killed.
Jesus,
yeah, that's what I said.
I found a tape one time. It was a DVD, but this DVD was just recording of the VHS footage of a movie called The Refrigerator. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's about a couple who move into an apartment with a refrigerator that eats people.
Oh, have you seen Killer Sofa?
Yes, I've also seen Deathbed, the bed that eats.
Oh man. Have you seen Benny Loves You?
No, that isn't that. Well, I guess it sounds like a horror movie for a different reason, but
So
I've heard about that one.
this guy has like this doll of his that gets possessed, and he's like a toy creator, and he's using this like possessed doll to make like all these crazy new toys for kids, but the doll is like super ultra protective of the dude and keeps murdering anybody that even like does the slightest inconvenience to him. And it's what's funny is like they used an actual puppet, so you just see this shitty puppeteer work of this doll murdering people in the weirdest ways. And I think one of them, he's like dressed up as a ninja and takes a ninja star and stabs someone in the eye with it.
Okay.
But the final fight in the movie is fantastic, and I highly recommend watching it just because of how wacky it is. Imagine Chucky, but instead of him being evil, he's just really protective and wants to be nice, but in a psychotic way.
Okay. This sounds great.
That reminds.
Okay.
I'm reminded of like when I was a kid, and there used to be video rental stores like Hollywood Video or Blockbuster.
What is a video rental
and like
store?
anytime I would go there, I would see like these VHSs and DVDs, and I would see like the movie Jack Frost with Michael Keaton.
Oh no!
But then I
You
would
saw the other
there was
Jack
another
Frost,
music.
didn't you?
There was another there's another DVD that was also called Jack Frost, but it was a horror movie, and I kept getting the two mixed up. And I thought like Michael Keaton was
you
in a
will be
horror movie.
delighted to know that one of the scenes in the horror movie version of Jack Frost has the killer snowman, the titular Jack Frost, in the shower with a woman, where the snowman takes his carrot nose and moves it down to his nether regions and fornicates with the woman and kills her and says, I quote, "Looks like Christmas came early."
Ooh.
And she had bushy eyebrows.
Shut up.
So that's what you missed out on. That's what Michael Keaton could have been doing.
Actually, I watched that movie for the first time last Christmas with my roommates at the time, and it was really fucking bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, isn't it?
It's so rough. But speaking of Christmas horror, every year religiously I've been watching Krampus.
Dude, I love
like
Krampus.
The 2015 one. It's such a good movie. And I got the Scream Factory release last year, I think. It's so good in 4K. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's Michael Dougherty is one of my favorite filmmakers. Because he did that, Trick or Treat, and then he did my favorite of the new Godzilla movies, King of the Monsters.
Ooh, yes.
But no, Krampus is particularly just fun. Like I love his, especially the design of Krampus in that movie is really cool.
Yeah, and I like that they went more with like a realistic look instead of just, CGI.
I fucking love the weird Jack and
Toys.
The Jack in the Box like centipede monster that like vores people with like the xenomorph. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yes, that was the best monster in the whole film, and the little teddy bears just killing people was also hilarious.
yeah,
Have you seen the Scream Factory version? It's like, it's not too different, but they restored some of the gore and stuff and made it like R-rated.
Oh no, I didn't know. I love Scream Factory. I get a lot of their releases, but I haven't seen that one.
I highly recommend checking it out because not only do you get the movie at like pristine 4K quality, but they also have some more gruesome stuff in it.
Heck yeah, I have quite a few. I have the Scream Factory releases of like a lot of the Halloween films.
I just got all of them like that were available, like the individual ones with like the really hard shell slipcase. So good. And actually, that's a perfect segue because I was going to talk to you about like the new recent Halloween trilogy, and I wanted to gather your thoughts on that.
Well, that's an interesting road because I think I still really enjoy the first one. Actually, this is kind of insane how much the new Halloween trilogy is almost identical to the new Star Wars trilogy and what they did.
It really is. It's
Mhm.
The
bizarre.
first one everybody likes because it's basically a remake of the first movie. The second one sucks hard. And the third one is just so different that everybody was like, I don't know what to think of it. So
I'm actually, controversial opinion, I liked the
I was
third
going to
one.
say, though, I'm with you. Because the third one felt more like just like a weird John Carpenter movie. Like, in fact, the third one felt more like Christine or something than but
Mhm.
no, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. Halloween Kills sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I remember being like super excited for that. Like, and my roommate and I went to go see it, and we were just sitting there like, I hate to say it because I don't like to be a negative person at all, but like this just was not good. And then we saw Halloween
Yeah.
Ends, and I was like, yeah, okay. I appreciate the fact that they're doing something so different that it makes me like it more, you know, because it's not really a movie about Michael Myers at all. It's a
No,
Speaking
it's
of,
just I have the perfect summary for the new Halloween, like the Halloween Ends. It's a bad Halloween franchise movie.
yes,
But it's a fantastic Halloween holiday film.
yeah. You know what? I'd agree with you. I would agree with you on that, especially because like it's more about this sort of outcast kid who just happens to like see Michael Myers as this like relatable symbol to his situation, which is, you know, fucked up, but it's more way about that. And then the whole thing with like, because it was so weird how they advertised it. They kept advertising it as like the final showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and it's like, yeah, that's like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Have you guys?
And it was
Yeah, what's up?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, it's
No,
fine.
you go
I
ahead.
was going to change the subject. If you want to continue, go ahead.
Oh,
I was just gonna say it was like a really funny WWE match between like an old retired man and just this crazy
what
lady.
did you think about like them sort of like death marching him to the giant like grinder?
Oh, the whole time I was laughing because all I imagined was the coffin dance.
Oh yeah, the meme. Okay,
Yeah.
it's so weird though, because I guess if you want to make sure he doesn't come back, right? Like you got to put him through an industrial shredder.
It was a good send off because there's no chance of him coming back, and I
So they did
Yeah,
the Terminator method.
But what's so weird
basically.
about it, Teej, is that like because I understand why you were laughing, Spaghetto, because the tone was so weird because they treated it like all these like citizens of Haddonfield together, like seriously marching down the street, like the evil is defeated, and then they just chunk him in a fucking grinder, and it's like like so I don't know whether I'm supposed to be like in like reverence or am I supposed to be laughing, you know? Like
and the best part is when I was watching it with my friends, I completely broke the tension of the scene just by saying, crunchy.
We're eating hamburgers tonight.
but I do agree. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would.
Oh,
because
Mhm.
I was really worried because they were like, oh, there's gonna be like a 4-year time jump between the movies and everything, and I was like, oh god, they have no idea what they're doing. And to be fair, I think the reason why I dislike Halloween Kills so much is because it feels completely unnecessary in the grand scheme of that trilogy.
It felt like nothing. I've seen the first two. I never saw the third one, but it felt like nothing happened in the movie, and it felt like almost like it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
instead
the
of
best
Halloween.
part, the best part of the movie. I mean, some of the kills are cool. Like I'll always just say that because it's just whatever. But the best part of the movie,
Yeah.
one or the two, the Big John and Little John characters I liked a lot. But the part where it genuinely looks like the mob is going to kill Michael Myers, I'm like, okay, are they actually going to do this? That would be ballsy. But then, sure enough, he's just like, nope, gets up, and then just like kills half the characters in the last like 3 minutes of the movie, including the mom. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just made me go like, I was like really kind of getting into it where I'm like, wow, they might actually like take him out or something. And then I remembered, oh wait, there's another movie.
I will throw Halloween Kills a bone. The intro with him with the firefighters goes hard.
Yes. Okay. You know what? I actually forgot about that. That's one of the best parts of the movie.
The funniest part of the movie is when Michael kicked the car door and that person with the gun flipped the gun around and shot themselves in the face. It was fucking hilarious.
You know what else? Let me praise this about the entire trilogy. John Carpenter never lost a beat when it came to the soundtrack. All the movies are fantastic music wise.
I was gonna say that's the best part of the third
I will actually say though, it's funny because my least favorite is Halloween Kills, but I think Halloween Kills has the best score out of the three of them.
The song that Ghost did for the movie too is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the Hunter's Moon. Yeah,
very good.
I
The biggest downfall of Halloween Kills, in my opinion, was the script. The script was dog shit.
I agree. Also, you're a Ghost fan?
Oh,
me
huge,
too.
Hugely so. I love Ghost.
I'm gonna try because they're coming. I think the end of the year to near where I am, and I really want to try to finally see them live.
Take me with you, Dad.
Let's do it. Let's go, son.
We're bonding so
son.
much. Like, we should hang out more.
All right, guys.
Tristan is our resident.
Before we change the topic, I wanted to say one more thing about Halloween Ends that was phenomenal. The opening scene is the best opening scene in the entire franchise with the kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's storyline was so well paced, and the kills he did with Michael and by himself were so hardcore. It was insane.
Oh yeah, dude. When the whole scene of like, bursting the door open and him falling down, that genuinely like took me off guard completely. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it was terrifying, especially with how the kid died. It was jaw dropped. It was not something I expected from. And
you feel bad for, even though Corey becomes like a psychopath, you do feel bad for him because like it really wasn't his fault what happened, It was an accident.
People just tormented him and he snapped. And that's a great allegory for just a movie. Like, if they advertised it more as just someone struggling and being bullied, the movie would have got way better reviews.
It's very ironic how, because my favorite, besides the original like Halloween, the first one, is I'm a massive, massive fan of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, one of my favorite movies ever. It's kind of ironic how they both suffered the fate of not having correct advertising for what it was about.
I'm going to say something controversial. I am a diehard fan of Halloween 4.
I like Halloween 4 a lot. Halloween 4 has the best opening credits sequence of the entire franchise. You know that like that whole like all those spooky decorations and stuff.
It's perfect. Yeah. Like, and it goes so hard with just the kills and the pacing. And then when the town finally defeats Michael with the shotgun, just perfect.
I think also, if I had to say this, Halloween 4 is probably fucking, oh god, what's this? I'm such a bad horror guy right now. Loomis,
Mm-hmm.
His actor, it's probably his best performance of the whole series, is that movie.
Yeah, it's nice seeing him descend into insanity.
But yes, go ahead.
So Lars, did you want to
before I got railroaded by Lars, I was just going to say that Tristan is our resident ghost expert. You could say, especially of the 3D variety.
Oh my gosh, I hate you so much. Anyways, Lars, did you want to insert anything? Because I'm sorry for kind of taking over the show today.
No, it's fine. It's just we were getting to like the 20 to 25 minute mark on the same topic. So I was trying to diversify a little bit.
Yeah.
At some point for people.
Yeah, we could switch up the topics. I mean, I did find in the meantime, like a weird Twitter mention that I got recently. Okay. For some reason, I got tweeted this, and I think it's a scam, but someone just tagged me in this tweet that said, someone doxed yo ass in Discord, and then linked discord.gg/courtroom, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, that reminds me, we got a fun review.
Let me link it
on Apple Podcast. TJ, weren't you gonna read that?
Oh yeah. Let me just post this tweet first. This confused me when I saw it.
Oh yeah,
I need to click the link.
That's a spam tweet because you get a bunch of people who just got tagged at once.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna delete the message just so no one actually clicks on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I can read because I sent it to you.
Yeah, we got a review on Apple Podcasts, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was looking up some information about our stats, and it was showing like all of our reviews across different platforms, and I just saw this recent one from a person named Beanie Boyo, and they gave the podcast 5 stars.
Nice. Ooh, thank you, Beanie Boyo.
Their review is they wrote, "More poop, please. I'm starting to get into the show with the newer episodes, but could you perchance add more poop, possibly? I just love poop just as much as the next guy, but there's simply not enough to fully satiate my browning hunger." Good show, though.
Well, one of my topics is poop related.
You got your wish.
All right. This goes out to Beanie Boyo. At my workplace, we deal with tweakers taking enormous shits in the toilet because they do an insane amount of drugs and then they get constipated for like a week. And then when they finally unleash hell's bowels inside the toilet bowl, you get like a piece of shit that's like the size of your forearm. And we got a few of those when it came to like a new employee taking over cleaning those restrooms. I checked back in with my boss recently. He quit. He couldn't he couldn't handle it anymore. He called them elephant turds, and he just is gone. He's like, I don't get paid enough for this shit, and
no,
that's it. That's it.
Are there any horror movies with like a poop monster?
I'm sure there
I don't know.
There can't not be. That's impossible.
So there's technically there's a Godzilla movie called Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and Hedorah is basically a giant sewage shit monster, essentially.
I forgot about that, but I thought he was more like pollution.
There's one part where Godzilla falls. He literally just takes a dump on his face at one point.
Okay, I guess it's canon. Godzilla fights the shit monster. He fights the great mighty poo.
You beat me to. I was gonna say I'm thinking of the boss fight in Conker's
I'm going
Bad
to
for a Day with the giant.
shit at you. That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Butters in the chat says the Blob and the Gorgon are all about like poop monsters.
Well, the Blob is like a Jello.
I've seen
monster,
both.
though.
Okay, I know what we're watching afterwards.
I've seen both.
Dave.
I've seen both Blob movies as a kid, and like the remake they did in like the late
that
80s,
movie is
like
as far as like amazing practical effects. That movie is super underrated. It is incredible.
Speaking of movies, Dave,
before the earliest times I saw gore.
Before we move on, by the way,
yeah,
let's go ahead and plug this. By the way, if you guys want to tune in live to these and help the podcast out a little bit by researching for us and stuff, or if you just want to say hello to the guests and the host, you can go to discord.t1podcast.com if you want to tune into these episodes live. Discord.t1podcast.com. TJ, what's the link?
Discord.t1 or wait, what is the link?
We just told you.
What is this, Spaghetto?
I was half paying attention.
Discord.t1podcast.com if you want to tune into the podcast live, ask us questions, throw your poop at us, and more.
TJ, what's the link?
Discord.t1podcast.com.
That's right, TJ. Discord.t1podcast.com.
.net.
Tune in to these episodes
Dave
live.
Capdevielle, what's the link?
Oh, www.burgerking.com.
Thank you.
Beatspin.
We actually did use the Burger King font in the logo for the podcast. So
You
I
really?
guess that is technically appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We use the Burger King font. Yeah.
That's perfect. Dave, I was gonna ask you, like, what's your favorite horror movie in recent years?
Ooh, in recent.
What your favorite horror?
And I
movie?
can throw a couple out to you just to kind of jog your memory.
Sure,
if you need it.
I'm actually I'm trying to think, like, the last.
There's Barbarian, Smile, Midsummer, Hereditary, Witch,
Midsummer
X,
was good.
Nope, Malignant. Those are
I'll-
just a
I'll
few
tell
on my
you-
list that I thought were fantastic.
I've seen
tell-
some of those.
I'll tell you some of the ones I loved. I loved Hereditary. I liked Midsummer. I loved The Black Phone. I loved.
Oh, yes.
I
Oh,
loved,
yeah.
Oh God, you brought up. I did. I loved Nope, as well.
I saw no.
Yeah,
I saw
Get
Nope
Out,
too.
Nope, and Us are just
Yeah.
all masterpieces.
Us, I think, is the weakest of the three, personally. But I enjoy.
Yeah,
but I still
but it
like
still is a good one.
Also, I would say. Okay, this is actually a genuine. I don't have many. I hate contrarianism, but like this is a genuine hot take I have. Apparently, I thought Smile was terrible.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
And most people disagree with me, but I saw that movie and I was just first of all, like, I didn't know whether to take it seriously because all of the fucking like demon effects and stuff were so hilariously goofy that I was laughing. But then the whole point of the movie, the main girl in it is supposed to be like a mental health specialist, but she knows absolutely nothing about mental health.
I can see that, but the one thing that I resonated with heavily was that she was going through a mental health crisis that was also kind of paranormal, and a lot of people didn't believe her, and it made me sad, but also was relatable that a lot of people go through issues mentally that most of the time are just disregarded and dismissed, and I thought the movie portrayed that really well.
I don't know, just like as the movie went on and on, I just was like, what is this? Like, I don't know. It was just the kind of thing where I'm like, first of all, also like just somebody staring at you with a creepypasta face. It just makes me laugh. So like,
By
I'll
the
throw
way-
you a lifeline, Dave.
By the way-
Evil Dead Rise was fantastic.
it was. You're absolutely right. In fact, Evil Dead Rise as cool because my favorite movie of all time is Evil Dead 2.
I remember.
But Evil Dead Rise, because I did enjoy the Evil Dead 2013 remake. I didn't love it, but I like it a lot. Evil Dead Rise is the perfect combination of the original movies and the new movies. Like, it is.
It's
yeah.
balls to the wall. It's
I just wanna-
insane. The entire movie feels so long, but it also is like so fast paced. The reason it feels long is because of like the anxiety it gives.
Yeah.
We gotta keep in mind that there are 4 people on this podcast. We gotta let people cut in from time to time.
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever you want to talk
sorry.
about.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I just. Go ahead. Go ahead. Fine.
What are you
going
gonna say, Lars?
Just go.
What are you gonna say? Oh, I was gonna. When we were talking about analog horror earlier, I thought of like that. There's like a meme, like if you're into that sort of thing, where like people make fun of really poorly made like analog horror stuff that's like low effort, where they'll put like a screen that says like music stops and then Joe's in the garage.
Yeah, I saw that in the
So, like,
the server.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but I kind of got railroaded a bit.
Just wanted to point out.
And I was gonna say my personal favorite series was Monument
Ooh,
Mythos.
I like Monument
It's my
Mythos a
favorite.
lot. This
Yeah. So what are you gonna say, Lars?
Never mind. It was a thing that 10 minutes have gone since then. It's pointless now.
I was going to agree with you and say that, like, I loved Monument Mythos. My actual favorite episode is actually the one that's probably, it's not scary, it's the saddest one. It's about the Rockefeller Christmas tree thing. That
The
is one of the
Rockefeller-
saddest
the
stories I've
Rockefeller
ever heard.
trilogy.
Like,
Rockefeller
Yeah.
Tree Tragedy. Yeah. Here, let's let Lars have the
Yeah.
floor because I feel like he's talked the least on this
It's
episode.
fine. I don't. Yeah, a joke.
What
To
was
bring
your
up
topic?
earlier, but it's the comedic timing has been lost at this point.
Oh, that happened to me a few times during the episode too. Is that I had a joke, but then it got the timing got.
Yeah, we need
fucked.
like a talking stick or something. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead though.
But yeah, do you still have any? Because I don't really have any topics. So.
Oh yeah, I had a couple things to bring up, but the time has come and gone.
I think I have some of this
I
can
was
get
also,
cut.
you know, whatever you
so-
want to talk about, man, I can speed run. So
Okay, we're also coming towards the end here, so I don't want to like.
I know.
'Cause I mean, I could bring up the obvious topic to talk about right now, which is Cheers to the Kingdom, but I feel like that would probably eat up like a good half hour at that point.
I haven't
so,
gotten it yet anyway. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
but I want to.
but-
I just haven't wanted to
okay.
give Nintendo $70 yet. That's all it is.
Yeah. I tried it out on an emulator just to see if it's working well.
Uh-oh.
It is. Yeah,
Bad boy.
yeah. It's good so far.
Hope Nintendo's not
Yeah,
listening.
you're right. They're gonna take down the podcast because I mentioned that there's the existence of an emulator.
Yeah, Nintendo's like sitting outside Lars's house with a fucking sniper rifle, just waiting for him to admit to his criminal crimes.
Reggie just shows up with a bat and breaks your computer. Yeah,
Even
no,
though he
he's just
doesn't
like,
work
he's
for
just
the
like, this
company
is just what I
anymore.
want to. They just
Yeah. All right. Also, I wanted to point out, by the way, Dave. that
Yeah.
I feel like saying that you hate contrarianism is kind of the ultimate contrarian.
Isn't it a little
take.
hypocritical when you think about it? Yeah.
It's like a
It was
paradox.
a little facetious. It's more that I just personally like. I don't like people who just like they don't have a reason. Like they don't form their own opinions. They just like I
Yeah.
want to dislike whatever you do just so I can. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like
I always
Yeah.
find that like anything that I think that I'm gravitating towards contrarianism with, I always end up really liking. Like I remember feeling that way about World of Warcraft before I played it. Like, oh, this is probably like a dorky, stupid game, and then I played it and realized I was like, oh, this is delightful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
there are people who just like the two types of people online, especially like on Twitter, who I just want nothing to do with are people who either they do nothing but just like shit on everything, or the people
Yeah.
who they just do nothing but complain all the time, and they're like, why do I keep getting all these horrible like trolls? It's like because you keep interacting with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
all
for sure.
they do nothing but like quote tweet all these like horrible people, and they're like, why do I keep? I'm like, because you keep showing them up on my timeline. Leave them alone. Like,
Why do I
To
keep
try to
getting
get your
hit by
attention.
a
Yeah.
bus? Well, maybe if you get out of the fucking
Yeah.
street, you won't be.
if you ignore the bus, it won't hit you. You know,
The cool thing about Twitter is that you can always close out of it and just
it is
not
nice,
use it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had a
It's
thing
an
recently.
optional
Yeah.
website.
It's so weird
close
with
your
Twitter
eyes.
recently, where it's like when I was like you know, like younger and stuff, like I'd be on all the time, and now it's like I'll either be on it quite
Mhm.
a bit for a day, but then I won't look at it for like 4 days straight, and I'm like,
Yeah. It's
and then
glorious.
yeah. So
All right. So I think we're getting towards the end here, guys. If you have anything else you really want to get into, speak now or forever hold your peace
or your poop.
or your poop.
or your Wendy's strawberry lemonade that I have in my hand.
I got to like 90% of the topics. I was gonna bring up like useless superpowers, but maybe it's too late.
Contrarianism. That's a useless superpower.
How many?
is.
How many topics did you have, Lars?
Oh, I got to mine. I wanted to bring up like out of pocket texts. I was going to bring up Tristan's memory issues. I was going to bring up also
Wait,
just,
you did?
yeah.
Would it have been ironic if Lars had forgotten to bring that up?
That would have been funny.
I wanted to throw that in when you were introducing yourself. And you're like, "Who am I?" And it's like, "Wow, we have two people on the
Oh,
podcast
no.
with memory problems." But you wouldn't have gotten the joke at the time.
It's gonna
Anyways,
hit. I know
if
it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit me though, man. My grandmother had severe Alzheimer's. It's gonna hit me eventually when I get older. At that point, I'm like, if I'm like 75 and my mind starts to go, just put me down. You know.
Yeah.
I would, Dave, but I think I would forget to.
Son,
do
you gotta
it.
pull the trick. You gotta pull the trigger.
I'm not even gonna remember.
No, old Yeller, no.
I'm sorry, Dave. I forgot. What are we talking about?
Somehow you shot yourself in the process instead of me. But yeah, go ahead, Lars.
Oh,
Go ahead, Lars.
I was gonna say it's probably time to bird up and give the socials, because if people wanted to find out more about Dave Capdevielle and his projects, they can go check out these links. And Dave, this is your chance to give them.
Oh my God! What a wacky and realistic thing. You can just honestly, you can find me everywhere at just Dave Capdevielle. It's on Twitter at Dave Capdevielle, Twitch, YouTube, and then the show I help make, the animated show, is Farfetched, and that's on Twitter at Farfetched Show and YouTube Farfetched Show. That's about it. I've been doing a lot more, like 5 days a week streaming recently. If you want to tune into those, and I do traditional, like, I do video game stuff and with friends. But the thing I do that not a lot of other people do is I go on eBay and I buy random mystery tapes off eBay and we explore them together on stream.
Ooh.
So and we've gotten everything from God, there was one time we got this like this movie called Wicked Games, which was this weird snuff horror film with a guy who was like a combination of like Jason and the Undertaker, and it's like all like shot on like what looks like backyard footage. We've gotten that. We've gotten McDonald's 1994 birthday parties. We've gotten old Nickelodeon shows. It's a lot of fun. So
it's like Everything Is Terrible or Best of the Worst.
I'm a fan of both of those. So,
have you guys, speaking of McDonald's, have you guys ever heard of the eCrew development program?
Oh, is that the Nintendo DS thing?
Did you guys know that McDonald's made like an actual Nintendo DS game to train their employees, and that the music for it is like shockingly good?
Really?
It's really interesting.
Well, in Japan. In Japan.
No, because there was like this Nick Robinson video where they actually went over like because it came out in like 2010, back when the DS was a thing, and then like they had to uncover it. There's like a password for it that people had to guess, because there was Spaghetto linked it in the chat, and so they had to guess the password to be able to log into the game, because it was designed only for like internal McDonald's like staff development, and the music for it is like shockingly good. It's really interesting. I highly recommend going to look that up. But we don't have time for that right now. Spaghetto.
You can emulate it.
You could. You'd have to. Unless you want to buy one of the 2 surviving copies. Spaghetto.
What's up?
If people wanted to find your stuff, how can they go ahead and do that?
YouTube.com/Spaghetto. I've been making a lot of very good videos, very bad videos, and mediocre content as well. But the really good content, honestly, is our Castlevania series and Vampire Survivors, where yours truly and Lars from Norway suffer through video games together, and most of the suffering comes from him tormenting me while I die.
Yeah. You die a lot. Oh.
I'd highly recommend the video Hilarious Ghost Pac-Man First Person 3D.
Nice.
And that's enough of TJ for the day.
Oh no.
By the way, TJ, if people wanted to listen to your music, what's the best way to do that?
Go to Google and search Fartfetched and see what pops up.
Yeah, but like for real.
That's fart with F-A-R-T.
But how, if they actually wanted to hear your stuff, what's the best way to do that?
Oh, just go to soundcloud.com/teege, like Tiege.
And Dave,
I
speaking of spelling, since that last name's kind of a beast in itself, how do people spell Capdevielle?
That would be CDEAVELEVIE.
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right. So this has been an episode of the first podcast. Spaghetto, would you like to take us out?
You know it.
Can you do it like for
The
real?
year
Like,
is 2049.
Okay.
The first podcast has evolved.
Like Blade Runner?
TJ still making references because he is not evolved whatsoever.
I looked up fart fetch,
keeps
and the first
continuing on
result
his
is
references.
a picture of Bonnie ripping ass.
He
This
still is
rap.
making references in 2049.
Bonnie from
But the show
Friday,
has
Five
evolved
Nights
to
at
the point
Freddy's.
where Dave Capdevielle has become the most powerful man on Earth. How did this happen? Tune into the next 20 years of content to find out on the first podcast. Cue McDonald's theme here.
Hamburgers for you. If you want one, you can have one too.
Together for the monkey rap.
Remember when the Mario movie didn't credit?
This monkey
Remember when the
rap.
Mario movie didn't credit Grant Kirkhope for that?